John Kane was working with Jimmy Barnes, and Jimmy chose him to co-write the album back then, Freight Train Heart. And I was around, and John and I were both looking for things to do. And so he asked me to join the project. Jimmy came out here to California, and we dug in. We worked at the record plant in Sausalito, and carved that album, and many, many cool songs. I just dipped back into that and listened to it again, and I was like, wow, what a rocking record. And Jimmy's just, an amazing singer. I was a big fan of his going all the way back to Cold Chisel, from when I just first found out about AC/DC many, many years ago, and many of the different bands coming out of Australia. And, I managed to play a few gigs with him in Australia. That was a lot of fun. Too Much Love Ain't Enough, though. That was one song that really stuck here in the United States and went nuts. It was really funny when it came out. I got a call from my good friends Eddie Van Halen and Sammy Hagar, and they happened to be in Florida, I think Miami at the time, and they were riding in a limo going to a gig, and they both called me up and they said, man, heard his track on the radio and it just fucked me up. It was so good. So, I think, Jimmy Barnes has made quite a statement in Australia for many, many years. And I was like blown away when I went over there to play a few shows with him years ago, how many people showed up. It was like, he's massive over there.
He is. And I believe a few years later that Eddie actually went over and spoke to me about being a singer in Van Halen. I know a lot of people tell that story. I mean, Mitch Malloy's sort of built a career on that story, on telling that story. But but he's got amazingly sort of well kept secret outside of Australia in some ways, Jimmy, isn't he?
I'm sure Van Halen, I'm sure AC/DC, I'm sure everybody. He kind of fits the mold of all that.